Greetings, my name is Dr. Marcia McFee and I am the creator and visionary of the Worship Design Studio. For almost 10 years now, the Worship Design Studio has been resourcing and training thousands of clergy, staff, and worship team volunteers. We want you to feel like you have concrete help in creating meaningful and memorable worship week in and week out. While you take a look at what subscribers see when they log into the website, let me tell you about a great opportunity. Many of you have encountered our resources either through being at a workshop with me or studying our Jumpstart articles or reading my books. But you may have wondered what a subscription to the online resources of the Worship Design Studio is like. So we decided to give you a sneak peek in our WDS Starter Kit, available for a limited time. I'm so excited about this. This will give you samples of our materials for a nominal cost, all of which you can get back if you decide that the Worship Design Studio is for you. And these materials, in and of themselves, will give you a start to improving your worship and your life right away. With the 2 worship series that we're giving you with the starter kit, you'll have the next 3 months of worship raring to go. How's that for improving your life? So here's what's in the starter kit that represents our commitment to inspiration, education, and practical design help. We've given you 2 full examples of our 60 worship series available currently in the Worship Design Studio. These 2 documents give you titles, synopses, scriptures, and resource ideas for all worship arts for every Sunday. That's verbal, visual, musical, media, and dramatic arts ideas. Really more than you can use, which means that you can use what works for your congregation and be inspired to your own ideas as well. We've chosen 2 of our series that can be used at any time of year. So if you haven't planned where you're headed next yet, you can instantly have the next 3 months covered. One 6-week series focuses on blessing and the other on healing. We've also included a sample of one of our fully scripted worship series. We now have 2 Lent series and 1 Advent series in the Worship Design Studio that don't just have ideas for you to put together. They have every word, every music idea, every children's time, visual and media idea lined out for you word for word. Of course, everyone adapts for their own setting. The response to these have been incredible. We will be continuing to create both kinds of series in the future, those that offer many and various ideas for a series for the different worship arts for every Sunday, and those that are fully scripted word for word. We wanted you to see what both kinds of series are like that we create in the Worship Design Studio. We're also including 1 example of the Brainstorming Podcasts that were the genesis of the Worship Design Studio. For 3 years, I recorded podcasts of nationally known guest experts in preaching, music, and visual arts, plus myself, brainstorming about each liturgical season and each year of the Revised Common Lectionary. We've included one for fall, year A, since that's what's coming up. But please note that these podcasts include both lectionary and non-lectionary ideas. Besides offering inspiration through worship series ideas and resources, we offer education for your worship team members through articles, webinars, interviews, and pointing you to online resources by reputable and creative folks. Here's what the starter kit includes as examples of these. 2 of our educational webinars. We have many webinars in the Worship Design Studio, at least 2 for every worship art. We've included our basic webinar on the visual arts, as well as our advanced webinar on musical arts, featuring guest expert Chuck Bell on transitions and flow in worship. A video session excerpt of one of my workshops is included. We have excerpted video clips from my live workshops so that you can create sort of mini workshop sessions for your team on various topics. We've also included 2 articles for the design process. The first article helps visionaries, what I call pastors, plan for a long-range planning retreat, vital for a plan together and plan ahead process. The other one is for the end of the process. It's called Tips for the Q2Q Rehearsal, which is a walkthrough in the sanctuary to care for all the details, and this is crucial for good worship flow. We have articles in the Worship Design Studio for every step in between those 2 steps. In the starter kit, you're going to get 2 examples of what we call more resources. We are continually updating the resources in the Worship Design Studio to give you the latest ideas that are out there. We know you don't have time to research new helpful resources online, so we do that for you. We are always on the lookout for things that will make your job of worship design easier and more inspired. In this starter kit, we have given you access to our suggestions regarding movable pews, how cool is that, and one on creative lighting ideas that doesn't cost a lot of money. In Worship Design Studio, we have many others, including liturgy websites, royalty-free photo websites, the latest in media techniques, places to find great music ideas, etc. So the third goal in the Worship Design Studio, besides inspiration and education, is practical design help. After years of consulting with worship teams and learning what the struggles and roadblocks to working as a team were for them, I combined my own experience of designing worship in teams with this gathered information and came up with time-tested strategies for planning together and planning ahead. As I already mentioned, we have training materials to help your team learn these strategies, but we also have practical ways to make your collaboration easier. In the starter kit, I will give you a tour inside the Worship Design Studio and show you our popular design app and how you can keep the communication rolling without a lot of meetings and emails back and forth. You'll see how everyone can add ideas during the resource gathering stage of the process, and then how our application helps you assign tasks and keep track of what needs to be done. The amazing thing is that we are offering this starter kit with all these resources for only $49 because we really want you to see what we're up to in the Worship Design Studio and how it can help you, how it's helping hundreds of churches right now. And if you like what you see, we will give you a promotional code for the full meal deal. In other words, a year's subscription to the Worship Design Studio. We're going to give you a promotional code that is worth $75 discount. This will give you and unlimited members of your staff and volunteers from your church access 24/7 to hundreds of resources just like what you will see in the starter kit for less than one specialty latte per week. That means you get this starter kit investment back plus some. So don't wait. Take advantage of this limited time offer to get a sneak peek into the Worship Design Studio and get way more than $49 worth of resources right now. The very least, you'll have the next 3 months of worship raring to go. See you in the studio.